like Percy Jackson or anything? Yeah? Okay. Well, this is the story of Theseus and the Minotaur. And the Minotaur, does anybody know what kind of animal he is? Yeah?
Bull.
Yeah, he's a mix between a bull and a man. So, that's what Kurt is today. So, my name is Ariadne, and I am the daughter of the king of Crete. And Crete is a little city in Greece. So, I am a Greek princess. My father was the son of Zeus, who's the king of the gods, and my mother. You already heard this story?
No, I have a CD of it.
Well, you can hear it again.
We love to hear stories over and over again, don't we, Sonny? Especially good stories.
So my mother was the daughter of the sun, which meant that she had the most beautiful blonde hair, and she just sparkled in the sunlight, and she was so beautiful that my father was madly in love with her. And he loved her so much that he was going to build the most beautiful castle in the world, so that way she could be happy in her home. So he built this huge, magnificent castle with tons of winding staircases and fountains and hallways, and it was the happiest place in Greece, and we had so much fun there. But then one day, Poseidon, who's the god of the sea, was a little bit jealous because we weren't worshiping him the way that he wanted us to be. So he sent a snow-white bull from the sea and ordered my dad to kill the bull in order to honor him. But my mom wasn't very okay with that because she loved the bull. She thought it was the prettiest bull in the world. And does anybody know how Poseidon reacted to that when they didn't follow his rules? Maybe how your parents act when they don't feel very happy about it, right? They're kind of mad at you. So Poseidon was mad at us. And so he decided that he was going to cause revenge, and he caused my mom to give birth to a terrible monster for disobeying him. The Minotaur was half man and half bull, and when he was hungry, he had people for snacks. Yeah. So, and he got hungry a lot, so he just shook the palace with his roars. He ate hundreds of people, and then one day, Theseus was sent to be eaten.
I'm Theseus, Prince of Athens. I'm the strongest person that you'll ever meet, and I come from Athens to save everybody in Greece from this terrible creature. When I met Ariadne, I realized how beautiful she was, and then we fell in love. She was telling me about the Minotaur, and so I thought that it would be my duty to save Greece from this awful, awful creature. So we meet at the gate of the labyrinth, and she gives me this magic ball of thread that can't break no matter what happens to it. I take the ball of thread, and I take it into the labyrinth. As I go into the labyrinth, I unwind it so that I have a way out. If I didn't do this, I would get lost because the labyrinth is so... It's like a maze. It's just a huge maze, and it's so hard to find your way in and out of. So I unwind it, and I go through every which way that I can, and then I go back, and then I realize that I've already been here, so I come back this way, and then I realize that I've been here, so I come back this way, and then finally, I see the Minotaur, and he's asleep, so I put the ball of thread down. And as soon as I do that, I kill the Minotaur! Now the Minotaur is dead, so I don't have to do anything else, so I just follow the thread, and I follow it all the way back, and I keep picking it up, and picking it up, and picking it up, And it's magical, so remember that it's not going to break. Even if my sword hits it or anything, it's not going to break. And it's magical, so it leads me right back to Ariadne. And we fall in love and get married.
And then we sail off because we want to go back to Athens where Theseus will become king. So that's what we do. We sail away. And that's the end of our story.
Was that like your story, Sunny?
No, it was a little bit different.
A little bit different. Does the story maybe continue?
Well, there are a lot of Greek myths. These are the kind of stories, like you know how we have stories about Rapunzel and Cinderella and stuff? These are the kind of stories that the ancient Greeks would tell to their children. So there are tons of them. Just like you can't even name all of the fairy tales you know on your hands. You've got to be able to count them all. So maybe you heard a different one.
That could be, couldn't it?
Does anybody have any questions for us?
Do you know, boys and girls, do you remember what I told you, what class these young men in? What class did they?
Lexington Catholic.
Yes, and what class they left to come and do this? They are Latin. They're taking the language of Latin, like we take Spanish. You go to Spanish class. They every day go to Latin and are learning that language. So maybe some of you, when you go to Catholic, will take Latin. Julian Feeney is taking Latin. Maybe when 2 years she'll be coming over to visit. And 2 of these young men went to Mary Queen. Look at these guys, Kurt and John went to Mary Queen.
Yep.
Isn't that nice to come back? Yeah.
You Torrin's little sister? Torrin.
Besides Anne-Marie has a sister at Catholic. Her sister is Amber Pitts. She's a junior.